In the A category, which is just below S, we'll put Calvin Coolidge. So Calvin Coolidge, really underrated president, because Calvin Coolidge is the last president in American history to truly understand that the presidency should not be a major factor in your life. And Calvin Coolidge was famously taciturn. They used to call him Silent Cal. There's a famous story about Calvin Coolidge where he was at some sort of dinner party and a reporter came up to him and she said to him, President Coolidge, I've just made a bet with somebody. And she said, my bet is that I can make you say more than 2 words. And he said, you lose. And that was sort of how Coolidge was. But Coolidge also had a wonderful understanding of the Constitution and Declaration of Independence. He gave a speech on July 4th, and it's one of the great orations in American history about what America means and why the foundational principles of the Declaration of Independence had led to the prosperity of the United States, how the freedoms and liberties guaranteed to individuals had led to the prosperity of the United States, that we were created by the Declaration, we were created by the Constitution, we do not get to create it. It's really, really good stuff. One of the tragedies of American history is that Coolidge stepped down and Herbert Hoover took over, and Herbert Hoover was in fact quite a bad president. Who else do we have here? Well, we'll put Reagan in that A category. And now Reagan's big problem as a president was, of course, that he didn't get the spending under control. He was also saddled with the Democratic Senate for part of his term. In terms of breaking the back of inflation in the United States through his Fed chief, Paul Volcker, in terms of radically lowering taxes in the United States and leading to 2 decades of growth, in terms of escalating defense spending, particularly on Star Wars, and breaking the power of the Soviet Union, Ronald Reagan goes near the top of the heap. So he ends up with Calvin Coolidge, who was one of his heroes, by the way, in that A category.